I think we got to start with this. It's big news. There was a lot of different candidates, a host of different kind of philosophies, even though they're all part of the conservative leadership. Very, different people from my perspective. Poilievre got in. That was my favorite. Just so you know, Patrick, and you and I talked about this, but that's who I would have voted for. That is who I did vote for, to get in. So I'm excited. I'm pretty pumped that Poilievre got in, and I'm very, very fascinated how he's been running his campaign up until now. I think he's making some brilliant marketing moves. I think he's really connecting with the people that do like the Conservative Party, and I'm curious to see. I'm not saying that Trudeau fans are going to convert to Poilievre, but I'm saying within the Conservative leadership, I think he's done a really fantastic job connecting with those constituents.
Yeah, I think politics aside, so I've been watching Poilievre for probably, I got to say, 8 years probably. So I started. You
turned me on to him, pre-COVID. You were like, you got to look at Poilievre.
Yeah, so because I kept seeing snippets of him, and I love the fact that he's a great orator, and as well as he's so he can talk to any topic intelligently. It's like he's just been debriefed or briefed on it. And so I like that part of it. So I've been watching his career. So even if I'm looking at it politically and just being agnostic, okay, which I can't be because I'm just not a fan of our current federal government, or at least the leadership of our current federal government. I think what the current Conservatives need was strong leadership, somebody who would take a stand, was willing to take a stand, and Poilievre's that guy. So I'm very optimistic about what he's bringing to the table. His view of the world, I align with his values. And so what can we say about that? The Conservatives needed leadership. They got it. The Liberals needed a strong opposition, and they've got it. And they need that. We need that as voters. We need somebody to push back on some of these policies that the Liberal government is putting in, and quite frankly, I don't agree with. And the results are, I guess, at the end of the day, the results are what they are, and we're not seeing great results coming out of the decisions that the Liberal government's made. So that's my view of it.
I think actually what you just said there, from my perspective, is the most important part, which is whether you're Liberal, whether you're NDP, whether you're Conservative. I don't really care what party people vote for. That's perfect. That's your right. That's what that's what's great about this country, is you get to vote for whoever you want. Yep. But what I do love, even if I wasn't Conservative, because I am in my particular case, but even if I wasn't, I always want that pushback, because that's what makes the best decisions, is people to have checks and balances and people to challenge other people. That's when you and I do our best work, is when we're challenged by the community or we're challenged by other people. We do our best work under that challenge. And I think that, the system of politics is designed that way, to be challenged, and we just haven't had that in the last little bit. And as a result, we got what we got.
I think where politics has digressed to is mudslinging. So they're not even debating healthy topics. It really almost boils down to name calling, and there's nothing constructive in that. There's no changes or shifts in policy that'll come from that. And I think that Poilievre ups the game a little bit. I think he'll take the lead, and you'll see, some of the other MLAs come up and up their game as well, and stop buying into this, like I say, social media, name calling, Twitter, and all the things that go on, the criticism that isn't even constructive criticism. So, that's what I've got to say about that. And so I think, like I say, Conservatives need leadership. They got it. We needed opposition against our current federal government. We got it. And I think it's going to be an interesting ride between now and the next election. And I think that our current federal government, Trudeau's not doing himself any favors, and I think it's going to change.